My friends, in the event that you are new to this wonderful card game and you have not yet signed up for a UGN Play account, you can now sign up with my exclusive referral code Alliteration and get yourself 50 bonus loyalty points for free, as well as additional loyalty points for every event that you play in within my referral code period. Why do you need these, you might ask? Well, loyalty points can be used to redeem free promotional cards in the mail, as well as other exclusive items coming in the future. The bonus points from using my code are enough to redeem almost any promo card right off the bat, and having your UGN account is going to allow you to accrue and track more and more as you go through your hero or villain's journey. If free cards and progression all sound super appealing to you, the links for all of this are going to be in the description below. Now, let's get on to the video. Good evening, my dear viewers. My name's Levi. Welcome to another Alliteration Gaming video. It's Wednesday, y'all know what time it is. We're going to be doing some wealthy aspirations. In the event that you are one of the beautiful new subscribers to the channel, we just hit 1,000 boys. Kind of freaking crazy. Thank you all so much. But not to segue, if you are one of those newest of viewers, this is our weekly Market Watch series. We're going to go over the whole of TCG players set by set, rarity by rarity, and just take a look at any crazy cool fluctuations going on within the prices of the lovely MHA CCG. Kicking it off with Heroes Clash, our secret rares are looking same old, both very much sub $10, nothing wild happening here. Our ultra rares are looking very much the same. We got these three pushing their usual prices, and then everything else is kind of within the $2 to $5 range, or just falls below pennies. I don't know why Fierce Whirlwind was so blurry there for a second, but yeah, super cheap stuff going on here, same old. Into our XRs, our XSRs are Hero Clash is normal, Aggressive Clash is randomly much cheaper, so there's that. Piercing Needle is looking really cheap. These were like 35 to 40 for a long time. They've been really pushing some smaller prices here. I don't think these will last forever though, so if you do still need to complete your set of these, this is a great price. On the other side of things, Ignited Arrow is not a great price. Ignited Arrow has seen so many buyouts at this point that I don't even know what an actual price would ever look like for this card. Last week we saw a lot of the starter deck XRs get bought out, so I think this week is going to be the week of revisiting those cards and seeing if they've sold at any actual prices. Prone to Dry Eyes and Prominence Burn looking pretty settled there. Quick to Act looking reasonably settled at 7. That's not a bad price for this XR, but with only 4 listings, I don't know. Okay, yeah, it's 1 for 7, and then the rest are 20s. So this is a fantastic deal right here. Afterwards, they're gonna be pretty hard to pick up, and I don't know if they'll get much cheaper because again, we're seeing crazy things with all of these starter deck cards. 12 is an amazing price for Total Erasure Binding. Some really good deals here. Some Navalism for 5, Blood Moons for 6. These are really good XR UR prices. Some cheap characters as well. Freezer Burn we saw finally got bought out last week. I don't think this is going to come back anywhere near 12 bucks, but I do think 30 is a bit too much for it. So hold off on these if you haven't caught them yet. XR Stun Grenades finally seen a worthy price. This one I've been thinking that this one's going to get crazy for a really long time now. Glad to see that it's finally up there. It really deserves to be. Stun Grenade's an insane card. The rest of our XR URs not so much. These are all pretty cheap. One with Nature got bought out to like 20 last week. Coming back at 14 is pretty reasonable, but with only 2 listings, I don't know if this is a price that we can really believe in, so this might be the last chance to get it for sub $20. Some of these started at XRs, Whiplash and Arctic Conflagration finally coming back into the market. Those were also ones that saw some pretty severe buyouts. Cloth Precision is super cheap. This is another one I would pick up though. This card is freaking amazing. It's slowly seen a lot more play in a lot of decks, and I think it might see that same buyout treatment really soon. We got some very cheap characters here and there. Ice Slide Tackle, also one that received a pretty harsh buyout. I think 13 is probably a pretty reasonable price for this, while $1 is a very reasonable price for 13. Hellflame Stomp, just a lot more of these Binding Cloth Dropkick, a lot more of these started XRs coming in. Easily excited for $3. This is crazy, guys. Holy cow. Easily excited for $3. I mean, even at $3 is an insane steal. $6 here, or like 7-ish, whatever, with shipping is also an insane steal. There's really not a lot of these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 2 playsets of these for super cheap. After that, I think this is going to see the same treatment as basic training. It's going to get hard bought out and come back with a vengeance, or never come back at all. Staple 0 diffs are always a no-brainer to buy. Press Conference and Exhausted looking really cheap as well. Daunting not looking cheap though. This is one of the ones that didn't get bought out last week in the Starter Deck XR department. Now it has finally seen its very, very worthy buyout. That card is fantastic. This is also very cheap for Frozen Slash. This is a really good pickup as well. Keep an eye on that one. Uppercut, I think, is a card that people are starting to catch on to a lot more. So if it's one you think you'll ever be playing, $3 is a very fantastic price for it. We got a couple basic trainings finally coming back onto the market as well. $3 for this card. Well, okay, it's like $6. $6 for this card is still a steal. $6 for this card is still a steal. This is a really, really good chance to get a playset for a very reasonable price here. If you're still looking, I would hop on those in a heartbeat. Fastest Flame found itself a Starter Deck XR buyout. And then from there on out, it doesn't look like we've got anything too crazy going on. Scorching Aura is coming up there as well with only a couple listings left. Same thing for coping with number 1. You gotta really keep an eye on these Starter Deck XRs because once they're gone, things get really, really tumultuous from there on out. But it doesn't seem like any of them really want to act up anymore. After that, the XR department here gets very tame. Definitely a really nice restocking of a lot of those Starter Deck XRs and a lot more things settling. Some of them, the price still isn't quite right on them, but there are definitely some things I'll be hopping on. Basic Training, Easily Excited are steals right now, and those really beautiful Starter Deck XRs, some of them are really, really good pickups right now. Going into our set 3 promos, our Biovox releases and Destins are still insane. Much more reasonable prices on the latent skills and the irrefutables. The improvements cost nothing. That card is really underplayed. Seasons are still very expensive. They did dodge the ban list. Chivalrous looking to get a bit reasonable here. These have kind of been floating like 13 to 16 for a long time, so we got like a 13-ish here, and yeah, I guess they're still pretty much in the $13 range. This is still a lot more than what I'd like to pay for this card, but I mean, if you need your sets to play these decks competitively, that's kind of your only option. You do need this card if you want to play competitively. You have to be able to play around season the advantage. And then everything else is pretty cheap. Squabble's the only like real outlier here. After that, everything else is very, 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 very cheap, with a couple of like the victories pushing a little bit more, but nothing else really. Going into set 2, our secret rares are again sub $10, very, very, very cheap. Things are as they always are here. Same thing for our ultra rares. Our top 3 here are decent. After that, everything is crazy cheap. We saw Excited's like really falling into the $15 range. Looks like they found their way back up. If anything, it was probably just people being like, well, I guess I'll just buy the UR for 20 and then that rising up all the way. But I mean, if we get a little bit of a price increase on both, that's not super bad. Give set 2 a little bit of value, please, man. A couple of nice characters here and there. High values are reasonable. Howitzers are very reasonable. Same with double jabs, man. $7 for these. So crazy, dude. Jiro's like the second best deck in the game, man. Why is this $7? Freaking crazy, bro. A lot of super cheap characters as always here. Forcing Surrender XRs are very cheap. That's a really, really good pickup right now, man. That card's like extremely relevant at the moment. Sterling Witch Studies, it looks like we found a little bit of a restock, a couple listings at $7. This is still a really good price for these, man. If you haven't finished your set yet, pick these up, bro. Pick these up. Survivings and Ice Glidings are really, really good prices as well. And then after that, we don't really have anything that like, we don't really have any non-rare XRs from there, so nothing else is really gonna get super cool looking. Challenging the Fakes and Graceful are not bad pickups either. Same with League Interview and Knife Slice. Same with Floating Around My Babies if you don't like the Nats alt art. There's a couple like really, really choice. Netgun is not bad either. Same for Manly Friendship. That card does see play. There's like a pretty solid little handful of like good $1, $2 pickups here and there. But overall, man, the value in this set is just still so far from present. There's still just no reason to really buy Crimson Rampage with how these secondary market prices look. Going into our promos for the set 2 era, our Exciteds are really, really expensive, and it looks like we've actually got a little bit of life being injected into some of the RLEs. We got 7 listings on the Texas, we got 5 listings on the Starlets, 7s on the Manlys, 5 listings on the IERs, 4 listings on the Cheerleaders. These were like all down to like 1, 2, 3 last week, so we got a little bit more life being injected into those, some more of them coming onto the market, and the prices remaining pretty reasonable, all things considered, for it. And then after that, our provisional promos are pretty much chill as ever. And then we have like a couple Choice Plus Ultra and Gen Con promos. Our Nats promos are very, very, very cheap. and then things are super duper pennies from there on out for the plus ultra pack cards. Moving on to set 1, our secret rares are reasonable as ever, man. I wish they would print secret rares like this again. I love that extra little bit of value being injected into the set. Feels very, very good, and it makes you actually feel good to open a secret rare, man. I feel so bad when I open like a dropkick slicer or an aggressive clash, because they're just like pennies, man. But these are real secret rares right here, baby. Into our ultra rares for set 1. Heatwave is crazy, and then we have our little squad here of like $7. And after that, everything is super duper cheap. Things are very, very much as they always are. Set 1 URs are just some of the cheapest around, which is crazy because they're some of the best around too. Going into set 1's XRs, this is where things are always wild. Our XSRs are very reasonable. It looks like we actually have some reasonably priced jabs. These have been like pushing 40, 50 for ages now. But we got what, 1, 2, 3 of them at like 20-ish, and then one at 30. So that's actually not too bad right there, all things considered. If you're looking to pick up jabs, you really want jabs. It did dodge the ban list, probably going to continue for a while. So not a bad pickup at these prices if you've really been waiting for them. 14 on Destinies are really good as well. These have been going crazy for quite a while, and I think the buy a box promo has finally pushed this into more reasonable territories. 20 for Ice Storms and 26 for Dark Shadows is also really good. Only 3 listings on these ice walls, so these might be a good pickup if they go the way of the dodo afterwards. 9 on requesting assistance is also a pretty good price. This has been a really expensive one for a long time. $9 on passing the torch, that's actually wild. Is that just a one of, or are there actually quite a few at this price? No, there's quite a few, man. Hey, if you want passings, these 3 right here have your name all over them. Basically $10 each on these. That's a really good price for XR passing the torches. They have historically been much more. This is really cheap price on latent skill as well. Not bad for Evil Gaze XR, considering the normal is like 7. That's a really good price for them too. $8 on regeneration is quite cheap. 4 on self-sacrifice is super cheap. This is a great pickup if you're still looking to line out your good symbol kind of staple sets, or life symbol really as well. It can't be fixed. 15 is not bad either. It's been a lot more in the past, so it's not a price I would sleep on. $5 for reverse throw is super cheap, man. Grab that if you're still trying to complete that set. Same for setup strike. This is a very reasonable price. 6 on chop is also super cheap. A lot of really good pickups in the land of set 1 right now. Set 1 is always just going to be chock full of these really old nice XR staples. 7 for tight lips, 5 for tape is super good. If you don't want the RLE manlies, this is also a really great price. $5 for the extends is really good. $5 for the burst XRs, holy cow, that is crazy, man. Ooh, call in for backups. They're trying to get bought out again. Keep an eye on these bad boys right here. We got the Dark Shadow Ruins finally finding a real price. Holy cow, man. These were like $3-4 for like the longest time. $2, maybe people these for $2. Guys, Tokoyami is insane, man. These are finally I feel like I've been preaching this buyout for like literally months now, ever since this series started. So really good to see these finally fetching a real price, even in the face of the RLE one. These do deserve to be a real price still. Wallclings finding their way up too. I've been picking up Wallclings for like $4 across these last couple weeks, man. Finally finding a real price as the RLEs continue to get bought out as well. Same for Jolts. Maybe keep an eye on the Jolts, because as the RLEs disappear, which those season 1 RLEs do like to disappear, the XRs might become a nice alternative. Then we got some really good steals here. These for $3 is crazy. These for $3 is crazy. Apathetics for 4 is also an insanely good deal. Gotchas are more expensive than I thought they would be. Stronger in Darkness are still somehow $5. I guess people just haven't woken up to this card being banned yet, and adjusted the price accordingly. But all in due time, I suppose. And then I don't think there's anything. Ooh, Bonds of Friendship for $2 is actually really nice. That's a really solid pickup right there. That is a super solid pickup. A bunch of still cheap characters. Release for $3 is nuts. Considering the buy box is obviously much nicer, but also $80. This is a great pickup. Same for Self Assured, man. Same $3 for Self Assured is crazy. That card sees a ton of play. Fulfilled at $2 is not a bad pickup either if you're someone who enjoys playing that card. Sticky Balls for $2, not a bad pickup. Now, this is the dollar bin at this point, but there are still kind of some gems in here. Set 1's card quality is just crazy, man. Set 1's card quality is just really, it's too good, bro. There's just too much to write home about. I can make a case for a lot of these cards being solid little pickups here and there. $1 for creepy is nuts, man. Get your creepies, dude. Get your freaking creepies right now, man. Holy cow. If you ever plan on playing any of those symbols, you should have those creepies right now. And then moving on to our promos for set 1, our season 1 RLEs are nuts, man. 75s on these, crazy. I mean, a big stabilization from the 90s, the $90 buyout that happened like a while back, but still 75 for these nuts. Same for the Jolts at 60 and with only 2 listings. Grabs at 60 for only 3 listings. Walklings at 35 for only 6 listings. Even the extends and the long lastings are pretty expensive too. And then a lot of these older foil provisional promos still holding very real prices. Crow and Frogs are going into the dumpster now, super duper cheap after the ban. Wow, plus ultras are $4. That's crazy. If these are like non-foils, I get it, but the victories for $4? What? Wow, there's like a bunch of them too. Yeah, wow. Wow, that's crazy, man. And there's like a million of them. Holy cow, when did this happen? Holy cow, there's so many of them before they find their way back to 15 bucks. Wow. I would say that like this is a steal, but there's so many of them that maybe this is just the price now. That's super weird and super out of nowhere, but okay, fair enough. Pillar Swings and Kicks are pretty cheap. Our poor charged up Nats promo, so cheap. And then the rest of our plus ultra stuff is just kind of like $1 or $2. So overall, a pretty quiet week in the market, all things considered. A lot of the crazy starter deck XRs have really stabilized, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy them in case they go crazy again. And there's some other really choice XR staples across set 3 and set 1 that I think are really good pickups right now, until the market really wakes up on them. There's some really good sleeper picks to grab. That's gonna put a wrap on this week's Wealthy Aspirations though. Thank you guys for making it all the way to the end of this video, and if you really liked what you saw, I would love some feedback via comments or the like/dislike button. Additionally, if you really liked what you saw and you want some more of it, you can hit the subscribe button to see Wealthy Aspirations every single week on top of gameplay videos, deck profiles, tier lists, meta discussions, and really anything MHA CCG that I decide to put out. For now though, that's all the time I've got for today's video. I hope I can see you in the next one.